Hello. Decided to start a new series. Can plasma? I often joke, but in every joke, there's part of a joke. I often joke if your question starts with, can plasma? The answer is yes. And this is what the series is all about. I'll go through hundreds of different applications one at a time. I'm still answering your questions, so please post them down in the comment section. Hello, my name is Greg Friedman. Welcome to the channel. Here we chat about science topics, and since I'm a plasma guy, I'll talk about plasma. And today I want to answer your question, can plasma wash fresh produce? The answer is absolutely. And there are a bunch of different plasmas. Let's start with direct plasma. So you generate plasma between two electrodes and you stick your fresh produce between the electrodes. Yes, it can be done. It's frequently done, especially in a lab setting. So the voltage needed for breakdown is roughly 32 kilovolts per centimeter. So when your distance is about yay much, you need 32,000 volts. How many foods you know that are this big? Well, a whole bunch. All sorts of powders, coffee, beans, spices. Spices are quite expensive and quite difficult to disinfect using traditional methods. I think I said fresh produce, so let's focus on that because maybe I want to talk about spices very differently. They offer their own set of challenges. Specifically fresh produce, let's take a strawberry. Strawberries are often used as example because they're actually really difficult to disinfect. They're beautiful red color. If you bleach them, you will lose that color and bleach will get trapped in all of the nooks and crannies of the strawberry. So difficult to disinfect. You could use radiation, but that's pretty expensive. And then who wants to buy nuked strawberries? So plasma has been proposed for that, and there are a number of applications of direct plasma for it. But strawberries are this big, so your plasma needs to be, this distance between the electrodes, which means it's 32,000 volts per centimeter. If you want to go a couple of inches, well, it's 100 plus thousand volts. Problem is, at that voltage, you start getting into, it's called Bremsstrahlung radiation. Pretty much when super fast electrons smash into the surface, they could cause the surface to emit hard X-rays. So you start running into problems related to occupational safety and health. So you might not want to use direct plasma. What can you do? Well, you can use plasma to treat liquid and use that liquid to disinfect fresh produce. See, plasma produces a lot of reactive oxygen and reactive nitrogen species that are highly reactive. Plasma also adds acidity to water, and water, as we all know, is a polar solvent, so all the reactive species dissolve in the water fairly easily. So you take plasma, treat water, very controlled volume, you know exactly the distances, and then you take your strawberry and you can dip it in that water, or you can spray the water, or you can tumble the strawberry in this water. And the disinfection rate is very, very good, very competitive with bleach, for example. Problem is electricity costs money, so there the industry is waiting for chlorine to be regulated. Have you been to fresh produce processing facility? I can't handle it. I can barely breathe. My eyes are bloodshot from all the bleach in the air. So I think using plasma-treated water is better solution, but because it requires electricity, it is more challenging. our team back at Drexel, we developed plasma-activated water microdroplets. So instead of treating water, we make really tiny droplets, pass them through plasma. Cool thing, these droplets explode in plasma due to surface tension, and I'm happy to make a separate video about that because that alone is a cool phenomena. And the only way you can do that is with plasma. But you end up with these supercharged microdroplets that are highly reactive for a short amount of time, and you can disinfect fresh produce. As a matter of fact, one of the applications that we developed in a commercial processing, the last step before bagging, like for example spinach leaves, is they're dropped down in a tube, dropped down and into the bag. And we can put fog up into the tube as the fresh produce is tumbling in and gets packaged. That's one of the applications, but in general, can plasma wash produce? Oh yeah, lots of different ways. The challenge is making it commercially feasible. Just because plasma can do it doesn't mean the industry would accept it. Cost, high voltage equipment, lots of challenges. If you have ideas where to commercialize or how to commercialize plasma in fresh produce, feel free to reach out. Anyway, peace. I'll see you in the next one.